Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here with another video to entertain or assist you in becoming the better Injustice 2 player. And this video is all about Firestorm. People have been asking me how exactly to beat this character because they seem to be struggling, and it's probably because there's not a whole lot of good Firestorms. My hair's a mess and I don't really care that much. I just had a nap, I ain't trying to impress anybody. Anyways, let's get into it. So Firestorm is a strong character, primarily like a combo character. He does like massive damage, especially in the corner. He's got a lot of fun resets with this. So I would probably classify him as a pressure / combo character. Now he has this string here, the 112, which is plus on block. But the first two hits are a high, so you can poke him there when he's trying to do that. If you don't poke him, this jails into that. So you can do something like that, and then if he does that and he decides to enhance it, you can do that again. So it's like one big block string here. Builds him a lot of meter, does a bit of chip, so just kind of make sure that like if you kind of try and react to that and poke, it's not the easiest thing in the world, I know, but just something to kind of be aware of. And if he does manage to hit you with that, I would maybe just try and see if it's worth it to push block, because if you push block his pressure, stops him from building meter, does cost you a bar, but it kind of puts you at a gets him off of you, especially if you're in the corner. Another thing is there's gaps in like almost all of his strings. A lot of them you can't really abuse that much, but if we do this, always, so you can see if he does this one here, there's a gap before that overhead. A lot of the times, at least I like to use that in footsies. So I usually just whiff the first hit on purpose, but if he's taking it, a lot of the time some of them like to do that, and then they also like to cancel it into the molten trap. I always have trouble doing that. Can I do it from this side? Seems to be easier. That'll catch your backdash, but you can meter burn back 3 it if you want. And there's this string here, which the last hit is actually neutral. So you can backdash that to avoid that, or meter burn back 3 for full combo. His true block strings are this one here, and this one here. He has this one that ends with the low, but that'll hit you if you try and backdash. So you can only meter burn back 3 it. And he probably won't use this a whole lot unless he has his trait on and full. Just turn it on and full, because it'll launch. Looks like he's playing leapfrog when he's doing that, doesn't it? A little bit. So he's very scary in the neutral. With this little blast thing, because of course it is a full combo. Can't backdash it. I dropped the combo, but however, it doesn't reach from full screen. So if you get him full screen, it's as far as it'll go. So if you have a character with a decent projectile that does a decent amount of damage, this is not a bad place to be. Like Deadshot wants to be here. Superman actually doesn't do terrible here, but I mean, Firestorm has the option to jump and do the air torpedo to counter any air lasers. Meter burn does beat that though. You gotta be careful because he does have the option to do the enhanced beam. Costs him a bar to do it, but it's super fast, as you can see. So he's kind of a 50-50 character in the sense that he has this fast overhead. And that string there, which of course Superman's just backdashing to take him off of that. But those are only really a factor when he has his trait on. That's when he becomes a true 50-50 character. And his trait takes a long time to build. So what I would recommend, if you're able to do it, is kind of hold on to your clash until he activates his trait, because as soon as he activates his trait, clash right away, it'll get rid of his trait, and you likely won't have to worry about it for the rest of the match. One of his other weaknesses is his lack of a 6-frame move. So 7 is the fastest he has with his down 1, his standing 1. He does have an 8-frame mid, which is kind of annoying to deal with, and that one as well. So you can do a lot of pressure strings and maybe some frame traps that you wouldn't be able to do on other characters because they can poke you with 6 frames that you can get away with on Firestorm. Like Superman, for example, has to hold, Firestorm has to hold pretty much all of his pressure. It's quite annoying, except if he ends in breath. But anything with like trait or any plus frames, he's kind of just has to sit there and hold it. So if you can rush him down that way and maybe mix him up a little bit, that'd be ideal. The only overhead starter that he has is his forward 3 that actually leads into any sort of significant damage. However, in the corner it is very significant. So if you want to default to a certain blocking, like block low and then try and react to the overhead. Because, I mean, you get hit by this, I mean, it's whatever. There's no combo or anything to be had there, right? So pretty much just to sum things up, if you have decent projectile game, keep Firestorm like full screen. Not in here, that's dangerous. Like full screen, as far back as you can go. If your character does good damage and has good pressure, then fight them up close. Make sure to use your frame traps to your advantage. If you have a character that kind of wants to rely and play in the neutral a little bit, and maybe doesn't do the best damage up close, I might suggest maybe finding a secondary, because it's probably a bad matchup. Because Firestorm does control the neutral really well with his fireball and the Molten Trap. He also has the Flame Pedo if he wants to use that as well. But anyways guys, those are some tips on how to beat Firestorm. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like because it really helps me out. And subscribe because we make videos every single day. Hashtag Bonehawks and all that stuff. And we'll see all you guys in the next video.
Accept your death.